Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's Terminator, brought to us by Mindscape. The Terminator, which is based on the Terminator film that was created back in 1984, has us playing as Kyle Reese traveling through time in order to save Sarah Connor. The NES version of the Terminator is a little bit shoddy with its controls, as well as a little bit difficult to get through. Here we go with the Terminator for the NES. In the first level of the game, we actually have to fight our way to get back to Skynet in order to time travel. The jumping in the game will take you some time in order to get used to it, and landing on platforms has to be exactly precise because sometimes if you're not, you'll end up falling through the platform. You do have a health meter in the top, as well as you can see your lives, the bombs that you can throw out, and what current weapon you have equipped, which right now I have a gun equipped. To pull out the gun, it takes a second before you're actually able to start firing. Most of the enemies are going to take several shots in order to take them out. Most of the time though, if you can avoid enemies, it's best to either take them out from afar or go over or under them. Be very careful on the conveyor belts and wait for the enemy to either fall down the pit or take them out with your gun before going on those conveyor belts. On that second conveyor belt, be sure to duck down quickly to take out the Terminator, but don't stay ducked down too long so you end up rolling off the conveyor belt into the pit. Once we climb up this ladder, we are now outside on the main surface of the level. On the surface, start heading to the left. Playing this level a few times, you'll get used to where the enemies are going to appear, as they appear in the same places every time. This will give you the opportunity to know what's ahead of you in order for you to get your gun out at the right moments. The key with this, though, is being able to see where the turrets are going to appear first. These are the most obnoxious weapon in the area, and probably the game, as they can do a lot of damage to you and hit you with a lot of shots quickly. Thankfully, most of them can be taken out from a distance, but a few you may have to jump over a bullet or two in order to get close enough in order to take it out. After this turret's one of the hardest parts of the game. You're riding in a jeep while also shooting at a plane above you that's firing at you. This plane can take you out very, very fast, and you have to hit direct shots in the middle of it in order to do damage to it. You can tell if you actually see your bullets disappear as well as your point score going up. It only takes a few direct shots to take it out, but it's extremely difficult to do so. You have to speed up and slow down at the right times in order for you to get your projectiles in the right direction in order to take it out. Right afterwards, you have to face a giant robot. This is very similar to the plane, however, it's going to take a few more shots to take out, and can do just as much damage, if not more. It's almost impossible to dodge most of the shots from the robot, so just try to dodge a few of them while mashing the fire button as fast as possible in order to take it out before you end up losing a life. If you're able to get past those two parts, you shouldn't have too much trouble with the rest of the game. Now, to finish up the first level, we have to have another little area where we actually have to make some pretty precise jumps in order to get on small squares while avoiding some spikes that are coming out of the ground. Once you get to the door at the top, you complete the level. You're now back in Los Angeles, 1984. In this level, you no longer have your gun, you only have your fist. And for the most part, though, I'm going to be honest, it's just best to avoid most of the enemies. Because of the multiple layers of platforms, you're able to jump up or get below 90% of the enemies throughout the stage. There may only be one or two that you'll actually have to take out during this initial part of the level. When you get up here, climb the ladder and then work your way across the small platforms in order to get up to the open door. If you make a big jump, you're able to jump over that final enemy. Inside though, it's a little bit harder and a little bit trickier to dodge the enemies, so you're going to have to get used to the combat here. For the police officers, you're able to get in close and deliver a punch or two, then duck under their bullet, then stand right back up after they fire in order to hit them a few more times. The dog enemies, you should be able to just jump over and avoid them. You do get some projectiles of some baseballs, but for the most part just use your fist in order to take these guys out. On the second floor, it's just more of the same, learning to get the punch and ducking in order to take out this police downright so that you can get to the next area. Once outside, you're now on the roof area and you have to climb your way back down, taking out the police as you go from level to level, watching out for those bullets. Here you want to be careful that you don't fall down in the open areas and that you can get to the ladder on the left side and avoiding those punks. This screen is oddly familiar as we just had it 2 screens ago. Once you're back to the street level, take out one more cop or two before you get over to the end and complete the stage.